Welcome to today's yoga class. Thank you all so much for coming. I'm so grateful that you've joined as the days of quarantining and social distancing stretch out. It's more important to me every day to make connection. So I really appreciate you being part of this class. I can't see you, so please make sure that you're listening to your own body. Don't go beyond its limits. You know your own flexibility and strength. Do what fits your body. So really listen to it. It's always good to come to the edge of sensation, right to that edge, but don't go over it. There will be poses that will take effort to get into, and once you're in the pose, you can begin to relax into the pose and let go of the efforting and let your body stretch and move in a way that is comfortable for it. So for this next hour, please just enjoy, get the benefit from the practice, and we'll begin by lying down on your mats. You can, if you're more comfortable seated, you can sit in a chair or on a cushion. Otherwise, lie down on your mat, your legs extended out in front of you. If you have any lower back compression or issues, you can always bring your knees up to the ceiling, feet flat on the floor, and to make it even more comfortable, you could let your knees join together so you have a little bit of comfort and support, because we're going to be here for about 5 to 7 minutes doing some breathing practices. So you can let out a sigh and start to settle in. Let go of all your to-do lists and all your problems to solve, and use this next hour to focus inward. Letting go of all the busyness and the world whizzing around outside of us. Start to soften your face. You can close your eyes. And without judgment, just begin to notice your breath. Notice how the breath moves in your body. Notice how your body moves with the breath. Don't try to change it. Just get familiar with it. Throughout our busy days, we often lose connection with our breath. Now bring your attention to your inhale. Feel the sensation of the air as it moves in through your nostrils into your body. Listen to the sound of the inhale. Notice the feeling of expansion on the inhale. Of energy and life coming in on the inhale. Some say prana, life force, gently rides in on the top of the inhale. Notice where your body moves on the inhale. And now we're going to try and take a deeper inhale. So with a gentle invitation, invite your inhale to come further in, down into your belly. Next inhalation, take a deeper, slower breath down into your belly. If at any point this feels tense to you, or you feel like lightheaded, please just back off and go back to your normal breathing, and you can gently come back to it, a deeper breath, when you're feeling more settled. With that deeper belly breath, you may feel your belly expanding and rising. And on the next inhale, try and take that breath even further down so it gently hits your pubic bone, the top of your pubic bone. And notice now if your inhale can reach all the way from your lower belly and feel all the way up to your collarbones. Now we'll bring our attention to the exhale. Notice the air, the sensation of the air leaving your nostrils on the exhale. Listen to the sound of your exhale. And on your next exhale, follow it all the way through to the pause at the bottom of the exhale. So inhale, exhale, follow it through to the pause. That pause at the bottom of the exhale signals to your body that it's ready to inhale. Now begin to even out the inhale and the exhale so they're the same length. Typically, the exhale is shorter than the inhale. So count your inhale and then match your exhale to your inhale count. So how many counts is your inhale? Maybe 2, 3, 4. And then lengthen the exhale out to that number for the next 5 breaths. And now you can come back to normal breathing. Hopefully your breath will be deeper and more full after that practice. When I talk about an even, steady breath in pose, I'm talking about lengthening, having the inhale and the exhale as the same length of time. So with that, we'll lie down. If you're sitting up, you can lie down on your mat. If you had your legs extended on the floor, you can bring your feet up to hip distance apart. And your feet are just further enough away from your hips, your back of your hips, so that they are giving you can be in a relaxed position here. So we're going to begin with an active Apasana. Apasana. I always have a hard time saying that pose. So with an inhale and with an exhale, bring your knees in towards your chest. Cup your hands over your knees. And on the inhale, just start to bring your knees towards the front of the room as you straighten your elbows. Exhale, bring your knees in as the elbows bend. And on the full inhale, take your knees to the front of the room. Full exhale, bring your knees into your chest. And inhale, knees come back towards the front of the room. Exhale. Continue with this inhale and exhale movement for 2 more cycles. And then you can bring your feet down onto the mat. Now this time we're going to inhale as we raise the knees in towards the chest and the arms come up and over, reaching the floor behind. Exhale, everything floats back down to the mat. Inhale, arms up and back, knees in. Exhale, everything comes back down to the mat. One more time, inhaling up and exhaling back down. Now we'll do alternate leg and arm. Bring your right knee in towards your chest, left arm, and then bring them down to the mat. Now right knee and left knee and right arm. Back down. Inhale, right knee, left arm. And back down. The opposite side, inhaling. Do this one more time on your own. This is creating a connection between your right and left hemisphere of your brain. It's a cross-crawl pattern, it's called. And then you can just come to rest. Now take your feet out to the width of the mat. If you don't have a mat, you can bring them out wider than your hips. And your arms can be a little bit away from your body. And slowly start to draw your knees over to the left side towards the floor, coming about halfway down. Inhale back up to center. Exhale over to the other side. Inhale back to center. Next, exhale over to the side. You can bring them down a little further. Let gravity help you here. Inhale back to center. Exhale over to the other side. The opposite hip will lift off the floor. Inhale back to center. If you like to turn your head in the opposite direction, to the direction your knees are going, you can try that also. Exhaling over to the side. Inhaling back to center. Picture the top of your thigh bones rolling side to side in the hip socket as we warm up the hip area. Shoulders are relaxed down on the mat. Come to center, come to still, pause. Now we'll begin to warm up the pelvis. We'll do some pelvic tilts. So this movement is going to be coming only from the pelvis, not using your back muscles or your minimal movement from your back muscles and your leg muscles. So picture the lower abdomen as a clock face. The belly button is 12 o'clock. The top of the pubic bone is 6 o'clock. Put an imaginary marble in your navel, in your belly button. And begin to roll that marble towards 6 o'clock, towards your pubic bone. Pause here and you'll notice that your lower back has an increased arch. And roll that marble back from 6 o'clock to 12 o'clock. So from the pubic bone back to the belly button, and you'll notice your lower back flattening out. Roll the marble from 12 till 6 and back from 6 till 12. Doing a gentle forward and backward pelvic tilt. You can inhale as you increase the arch in your lower back, and exhale as your back flattens towards the mat. Inhale 12 to 6, exhale 6 to 12. Do a couple of more rounds here. And then come to neutral spine, where there is a gentle curve in the lower back, in the lumbar spine, a natural curve that we do want to maintain throughout our day and throughout our practice. Now we'll do a lower back massage using our clock face. So bring your fingertips to the right hip bone. It's going to be 3 o'clock, and the left hip bone is going to be 9 o'clock. So beginning with the marble in the belly button at 12 o'clock, roll that marble around to your right hip bone around to 3 o'clock, continuing down to 6 o'clock to the top of the pubic bone, over to the left hip bone, 9 o'clock, and back up to 12 o'clock. So rotating, rolling the marble, 12 to 3 to 6 to 9, belly button, right hip bone, top of pubic bone, left hip bone. Going in a gentle circle all the way around your lower back, giving your sacrum also a nice massage. One more round. And come to still. We'll rotate the other way now, the belly button starting at 12, going over to the left hip bone, 9 o'clock, down to 6, over to 3, and back up to 12. Going at your own pace, really trying to hit all those spots. Nice, even, steady breath. One more round. And come to neutral spine. And when you're ready, you can roll over onto one side and come to your seated position, ankles crossed in front of you, if that's comfortable. And we'll continue with that rolling. So let's just roll over to one side, towards the front, and work round to the back. Your hands are cupped on your knees to give you some support. Rolling around the pelvis again. Nice and slow. Taking deep belly breaths. And then come to center and reverse. Opposite direction. And then come to center. We'll do some shoulder rolls now. So first of all, relax your shoulders down away from your ears, and you can place your fingertips on your shoulders, the top of your shoulders. Begin by bringing your elbows into the center, up towards the ceiling and back out towards the back of the room. Your shoulder blades come together as your elbows go back, and they broaden across your back as your shoulder blades come to the front, as your elbows come to the front of the room. As your elbows go back, your collarbone is wide, collarbones are wide. Getting that full 360, full range of motion in the shoulder joints. And then come to center. And we'll go the opposite direction. Elbows go back and then forward. All the way back as the shoulder blades come together. Elbows come forward, the shoulder blades broaden out. Doing this on your own breath. Inhaling as your chest expands. And exhaling as the elbows come forward. One more round. And you can come to still. And now bring your arms up to shoulder height and bend your elbows, forearms coming, fingers to the front, palms of the hand facing forward into cactus arms. Keeping the shoulders relaxed and away from the ears. And inhale. As you exhale, bring your forearms and hands together. They may not reach, but if they do, you can bring palms together and then back out to the sides. Inhale, exhale, together. Feeling all the movement in across your shoulder blades. One more time. Stay here in cactus arms for 2 more breaths. The upper arms are parallel with the earth. And then you can drop your hands to the mat. We'll now do some neck rotations. So begin by just dropping the right ear towards the right shoulder and feel all the stretch along the left side of the neck. You can rock your head a little if you want to release some tension or need to release some tension. Breathe into any tightness and soften that spot. Try to keep your left shoulder down. And then come back, head comes back to center. And then now we drop the left ear towards the left shoulder. Keeping the right shoulder down and feeling the stretch all the way along the right side of the neck. And have a little movement here so you can detect any tightness. And just breathe into that tightness, soften that area. And then you can bring your head back to center. Now we're going to be doing a half moon. So the chin is going to be dropping all the way down to the chest, sternum, and back up, looking over the other shoulder. And towards the end of it, we will do a full circle if your neck is feeling comfortable. Don't crank the neck back, just try and be gentle. So looking over your right shoulder, begin to drop your chin down towards your chest, releasing the chin down towards the sternum, all the way up and over the other side. Take a big inhale and a smile as you begin to drop your chin back down, chest, releasing to the sternum, and back up, looking over your right shoulder. Big inhale and smile. And on this rotation, you can stop anywhere you feel any tension or tightness, and you can breathe into that spot. So just go at your own pace. And you may like to, on your next round, to go Start leading with the nose as you bring the nose up towards the ceiling. Your gaze is up towards the sky as you bring your head around and over to the other side, doing a full circle. If that's comfortable for your neck. And you will be hearing some cracks and pops. Very normal. Then you can reverse. Feeling the sensation all the way around the neck area. And then come to center. Do a nice twist now. We're going to, before we twist, we want to elongate our spine. So as you're sitting, you can move the fat pads from your buttocks and see if you can feel the sit bones connecting with the earth. Try to come to the front of the sit bones, then root your tailbone down into the earth as though it's a tap root, and then extend from your lower belly all the way up through your torso, through your neck to the crown of your head, so you have a nice long spine. So you're rooting down in your back body and lifting up with your front body. Now take your left hand over to your right knee and your right arm around behind you to find the ground behind you on your fingertips. On an inhale, lengthen up through the spine to the crown of the head. And on the exhale, begin the twist from the lower belly, lower back. It's in 3 parts. We're going to pause here. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, middle back and chest turns. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, you can begin the final twist, and if your neck is fine, you can begin to look behind you over your right shoulder. And take some steady breaths here, enjoying this twist. And you can begin to unwind. We'll do it on the other side. It's a 3-part twist. So you will also be feeling some, we're not only moving the outer body, we're moving the inner body too. So the inner organs are moving with us as we turn. So beginning by taking the right arm over to the left knee, cup that left knee. Take your left hand back around you, fingertips finding the mat behind you or the floor behind you. Inhale. As you lengthen up through the spine, exhale, begin turning towards the left side. Pause, inhale. Exhale, begin turning further towards the side of the room. Pause, inhale and lengthen. And the final twist, you can, shoulders and head can turn towards the back of the room. Got some construction going on downstairs, so you might hear a little noise. You can come back to the center. Now bring the soles of your feet together and give yourself a nice foot massage. So using your thumbs, really rotate your thumbs into the lifted inner arches. Look down at your feet. Have a good look at them as you move your thumbs up towards the balls of your feet. Back down again. Really enjoy this self-love. The heels. Spread out around your ankles. Back into those inner arches. Ooh, that's nice. Okay. So now if your feet are further out and you can bring them in a little closer to your groin, to cobbler's pose. And hands can be around your ankles or shins or knees, whatever's more comfortable. We're going to be doing a seated forward bend. So this bend is going to come from the hips. We're going to be moving from the hips forward, keeping a straight back. The goal is not to get down so close to the floor as to move our bodies forward. Our chest is going to be lifted. And we want to keep the same distance between the top of the pubic bone and the sternum, so we're not collapsing in the middle. Okay, so with an inhale, expand through your tailbone all the way up through the crown of your head. And on the exhale, begin to come forward, chest lifted. Move your elbows towards your legs. Give you a little leverage. Straight back. Inhale. And extend a little more forward. Relax a little more in on the exhale. Inhale and exhale forward. And when you feel you've come to the end of your stretch here, you can allow your spine to round as your crown of your head comes towards the mat. And you can just relax here for a couple of breaths. And then rise back up and give your legs a little shake. Sorry about the noise. I hope you don't hear it too badly. We'll come now to tabletop. So hands and knees. The wrists are under the shoulders. Fingers are spread wide. The crease of the wrist towards the top of your mat. You're going to lift up from your arms up through your arm bones to your shoulders to give you a nice firm foundation across your shoulders. Knees are hip distance apart, a little bit back from the hips. Typically the top of the feet are flat on the floor. If you're more comfortable having your toes tucked, that's fine. There is a slight curve in the lower back. Neck is long. And we're going to begin with some cat-cows here. So the movement is initiated in the pelvis, so dropping the tailbone down towards the mat as our back rounds towards the ceiling, releasing the crown of the head down towards the floor. On your next inhale, begin to raise the sit bones to the ceiling as you lengthen from the lower belly all the way through to the collarbones, head, chest, and forward, head, chest, and heart coming forward. Exhale, dropping the tailbone, rounding the back, releasing the crown of the head. Curling back into cow on the inhales. Sit bones up to the ceiling, arching the back and rolling forward. Gliding forward through your arms, heart, chest, and head forward. Your gaze can be down to the floor in front of you. And continue here, just grounding and arching. Rolling and curling, lifting up through your arms. Full movement in the spine. Breathing So take a couple more breaths, a couple more rounds, and then come back to table neutral spine. Now you're going to take your left leg out behind you, toes tucked under, and then bring that leg over to across your body and look around your right shoulder as you look at your left toes. Feel the stretch along your left side body. And then bring that knee back in. This time we're going to take the right toes out, right leg out, and then bring that right leg over your body to the left side and look around your left shoulders at your left toes. And then you can bring the knee back in. We're going to do a little extension of this little modification. So taking the the left leg out, toes tucked under, left leg extended behind you. Take that left foot over to the right side and then bring your weight into your right side of your body. So your right leg, right knee, and right hand as you begin to bring your left arm up towards the ceiling, turning towards the center of the room and extending up in a supported side plank. Lifting through the right hand up through the shoulders, all the way up through the left fingertips, reaching towards the sky. Head is in line with the spine, and then you can bring that left hand and left knee back in. Switch over, you can stay in the opposite, we'll switch over. So now the right leg comes out, right toes out, lift that leg up and over your side body. Bring your weight into your left side of your body as you begin to raise your right arm up towards the ceiling. You can even turn that right heel down towards the mat. Lift, lift, lift. Breathe. Opening up the shoulders, the chest. And then bring your right hand down to the mat, right knee back in. And then widen your knees as you slowly take your hips back towards the back of the room and finally down towards your heels. Rest your belly in between your legs and stretch your hands out, fingertips out in front of you. Forehead down on the mat. You can use a pillow if you need to put it, if your head doesn't reach the mat. Breathe into your front and back body. And when you're ready, you can come back up. And we're going to come to standing. I'm just going to adjust the computer so you can see my head here. Pretty much see everything. Okay, great. We're going to just start swinging. So just a nice, easy swing. Let your opposite heel come up off the mat. Take your chest and arms and head around. Nice wide swing. Do some big exhales, some big sighs. Nobody can hear you. And then slow it down. Keeping your legs spread, your feet spread wide, and we want the feet to be pointed out to the corners of the room. As you start to bend your knees, coming down into a squat, your knees are going to track over your second and third toes. The pelvis, the pubic bone and the tailbone are equally weighted down towards the mat. And then bring your arms up into the cactus pose. And breathe. On your next inhale, extend your arms up towards the ceiling as you straighten your legs into star pose. Back down into cactus. Into goddess. And this is goddess pose. Extend up into star. Back down to goddess. Inhale up to star. One more time down, and let's hold this for a moment. Really try and adjust that stance, making sure that you need to take a wider stance so that the knees are over the second and third toes, and the tailbone and pelvic pubic bone are drawing towards the earth. See if you can come a little deeper. And then when you're ready, you can straighten your legs, bring your hands down by your sides, and just come back to that still, quiet place. Even out your breathing. Now bring your toes to come, toes pointing forward to the front of the room. We're going to be coming into a standing forward bend. So we're going to be bending from the top of the thigh bones, the crease where the thighs hit the torso, with a straight back. So you can have your hands on your fold, the crease here, and then just start to soften your knees a little, and just start to come forward, leading with the chest, coming forward and down towards the earth. Finding your fingertips on the ground below you, underneath your shoulders. And then you can let the crown of your head release down towards the mat. You do want your fingertips to reach the ground, so if you do have to bend your knees a little more generously to find the ground, that is a good thing to do. Now bring the right hand a little more into the center as you start to take the left arm up, as you twist around to the side, and then bring the palm of the hand onto the lower back and look out towards the side of the room. And then you can unwind. Now bring your left hand more into center as you start to take the right arm up towards the sky, and then the palm of the hand on the base of the spine, on the base of the lower back. And feel the stretch in your shoulders, chest, opening up. And bring the right arm back to center. This time we're going to take the left arm up, 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 and if it's comfortable for you, you can reach your fingertips up to the sky, or you can bring your hands back onto the lower back, whatever's more comfortable. Continue to breathe. And then gently float that left arm down and take the right arm, fingertips up to the earth, up to the sky as you twist towards the side. And then slowly bring that hand back down. Bring your hands to your hips as you begin to raise your body from the back of the skull with a straight spine all the way coming up to standing. Nice work. Bring your feet into Mountain pose. And now take your feet wide again. This time, raise your arms up to shoulder height and just check that your ankles are underneath your wrists. So you want a nice wide stance here. Now you're going to turn your right foot out 90 degrees, turning it from the thigh bone. So turn the whole leg out 90 degrees. And the back left foot you can turn in a little. Ground through the back outer sole of the foot. You're going to begin to bend the right knee, checking that it's tracking over the second and third toe. It has a tendency to come inward, so you're going to have to use your thigh muscles to keep that knee from coming inward. You don't want it to come over the knee, so we want it perpendicular with the floor. Now bring your back arm, your left arm, up to shoulder height and slowly begin to draw your torso upright by stretching those left fingertips back towards the back of the room. And then you can raise your right arm to shoulder height and now look over your front fingers in Warrior Two pose. Your weight is equally distributed between your front leg and your back leg. Front foot is pressing down into the earth. Back foot is extending and grounding down into that back outer heel. Shoulders relaxed. One more breath here. Now you may want to look what I'm doing here. I'm going to take the forward arm, the right elbow down onto my right knee. And then slowly bring the left fingertips down to the ground, around in front to the front of the room, and back up all the way, reaching to the up towards the ceiling, looking in front. Torso is turning towards the front of the room. And if you like, you can bring that top arm, the left arm, by your left ear. Feel the extension and the length from the back outer heel of the left foot all the way through to the fingertip, the left fingertips. Side angle pose. 2 more steady, even breaths here. And then begin to bring that left arm down as you come upright. Straighten your right knee, and then you can come in to mountain pose and find your stability and your quiet. To reconnect with your breath. Go to the other side now, so take those feet wide. Turn your left foot from the thigh bone all the way 90 degrees, facing forward. The right foot you can bring in, the heel you can bring, so the toes can come in a little. Feel the grounding of the left, of the back of the outer heel, the back of the right heel. Ground through the back of the right heel. And then slowly begin to bend that front knee. So it's going to come perpendicular with the floor, tracking over the second and third toes. Use those thigh muscles to keep that knee in place. Your torso is kind of heading towards your left knee now. So raise your right arm up to shoulder height and then reach those fingertips back towards the back of the room as your torso comes to an upright position. And then you can raise your left fingertips and feel the extension from the left fingertips all the way through to the back of the right fingertips. The right the back of the right foot grounding into the mat, the left foot pressing into the earth. Look over your left fingertips. And bring all the qualities of a warrior into this pose. Courage, bravery, strength, because that is what you're doing right now. Breathe evenly. Two more breaths. And then begin to drop the left elbow onto the left knee. Swing that arm down towards the earth, out in front, and then back up. And fingertips rising, reaching for the sky. Side angle pose. The torso is rotating towards, torso and chest are rotating towards the front of the room, or the belly and the chest are rotating towards the front of the room. Head is in line with the spine. And then if you like, you can bring that right arm over by the right ear and feel the extension all the way from the back right outer heel through the right side body up through the fingertips. 2 more breaths. And then you can bring that right arm down, begin to straighten your left knee and bring your feet back in to mountain pose. So we're going to focus a little bit on our mountain pose. We're going to be grounding from the 4 points of the foot, 4 corners of the foot. So it's going to be the base of the big toe, the base, the outer heel, the inner heel, the base of the inner heel, the base of the pinky toe, and the outer heel. There are 4 points on your foot. So bring your feet to parallel so that the insides of the soles of the feet are parallel with each other, about hip point distance apart. And now root down through those 4 points, the base of the big toe, the inner heel, the back inner heel, the base of the pinky toe, and the back outer heel. Raise your toes, and then you can gently put them down into the mat. Then root down on those 4 points, rooting down into the earth as we grow our roots down into the earth, getting a firm foundation, support from the earth. Now your hips are going to be over your ankles and your shoulders are going to be over your hips. Shoulders are released away from your ears and the crown of the head reaching for the ground. So root down through your feet as you rise up through the crown of your head. Mountain pose. We'll do one last pose, a balancing pose, tree pose. So keeping that rootedness and groundedness in the left leg, bring all the weight into your left leg. Keep the hip strong, no sagging in that left hip. Keep it upright. As you begin to raise, bend your right knee towards the front of the room, and then turning that knee to the side of the room, turning it from the thigh bone, allowing your right heel to rest on your left inner ankle. And then just bring your hands to whatever position is comfortable for you in prayer pose. You may like to have cactus arms, or you might want to go up into a full expression of tree pose, reaching your branches to the sky. Breathe deeply. Find a focal point to focus on in front of you, an unmoving point. arms back down, knee in and heel down. I did forget to say you can use a chair or a wall for support if you want to lean on it or use it with one of your hands. I will go to the other side now. So root down in that front and that right leg, finding your stability and firmness and strength, and then bend your left knee, take it turn it towards the side of the room, turning it from the thigh bone, and then rest the left heel on the inside right ankle. You want to try and keep the hip bones facing forward. So the knee my knee can't go all the way out. If I've got my hip bones facing forward, the knee's going to be in a little. Sorry about that noise, we're nearly done. Okay, now bring our arms up on an inhale to whatever type of tree you want to be. And then you can drop your arms down to the mat, to your sides. We're going to do it a little more challenging. So this time you might want to slide the sole of your foot up to the inside calf or all the way up to the inner thigh. We just don't want the knee to be resting on the knee, the sole of the foot to be resting on the knee joint because it is not so strong. So this time bringing the weight into the left leg as you turn the right knee out, and then find that focal point because that's really helpful for balance. There's something in front of you that's not moving, and start to slide the sole of the foot up to wherever your comfort level is. If it happens to be at the inner thigh, press the sole of the foot into the inner thigh and the inner thigh into the sole of the foot to give you the balance. And then bring your hands to heart, all the way up to tree. Growing your tree as a shelter for those underneath, or as a home in your branches. And then you can bring your hands down to your sides, bring your foot down. If ever you fall out of the pose, just take a moment to relax and then just come back into the pose. And we'll do on the other side. Weight is in the right leg, keeping that hip nice and firm, turning the knee out, and then finding the dristi point in front of you, a focal point, and then bringing your sole of your foot up to wherever is your comfort level today. Breathing, and then growing the tree. The more balanced and focused you are in your tree pose and in life, the greater comfort and support you can offer to those around you. And slowly bring the arms down, bring the foot down. Gentle little rocking with your knees, and then you can come down into Shavasana, lying on your mat on your back. If you have a rolled up blanket, you can put it under your knees for comfort. If you have a pillow, you can put it under your head for comfort. So just start to lie down, relax in your Shavasana, rest in your Shavasana, knowing that you've done a good deed with your body, you've taken care of your body, and just let the weight of your body sink into the unconditional support of the earth beneath you. You want your feet splayed out to the sides, shoulders relaxed and heavy on the mat. Do some long exhales to settle in. I'm going to read a poem to you, and then I'll log off, and you can just stay here for as long as you need. It's a poem by Mary Oliver. When I am among the trees, especially the willows and the honey locusts, especially the beech, the oaks and the pines, they give off such hints of gladness. I would almost say that they save me, and daily. I am so distant from the hope of myself, in which I have goodness and discernment, and never hurry through the world, but walk slowly and bow often. Around me the trees stir in their leaves and call out, "Stay a while." The light flows from their branches, and they call again. It's simple, they say, and you too have come into the world to do this, to go easy, to be filled with light, and to shine. Thank you so much for joining me today. Namaste.